Off the eastern coast of China, nestled on Xingshan Island, lies a place where time seems to have stopped, a village swallowed whole by nature. This is Houtouwan. Not so long ago, this was a vibrant fishing community, home to nearly 2,000 souls. Can you imagine it? Generations of families lived here, their lives woven into the rhythm of the East China Sea, surrounded by rolling green hills and the endless crash of waves. They were fishermen, living simple, hardworking lives. But the 1990s brought change. The sea, once a source of life, grew harsher and more unpredictable. Newer, more modern ports on the mainland began to flourish, pulling trade and opportunity away from this isolated island. The heart of the village began to slow. The young people left first, seeking better jobs and an easier life. Then, one by one, entire families packed their belongings, said their goodbyes, and sailed away, leaving behind the homes their ancestors had built. By 2002, the last residents had departed. The laughter, the shouts, the bustling sounds of a thriving village faded, until only the whisper of the wind and the cry of the gulls remained. Houtouwan fell into a profound and lasting silence. In the first few years after the last boat left, the village felt like a photograph frozen in time. Houses stood empty but expectant, as if their owners had just stepped out for a moment. You could find fishing nets still hanging on walls, weathered and waiting. In some kitchens, bowls were left on tables, a final, uneaten meal forever suspended in time. It was a place of echoes, a silent testament to a life that had suddenly vanished. But then, nature, which had always surrounded Houtouwan, began its quiet and patient reclamation. It started slowly. A single vine creeping up a stone stairway. A patch of moss softening the edge of a rooftop. Then, the process accelerated. Ivy, relentless and green, wrapped around entire houses, cloaking them in a living shroud. Roots pushed through cobblestone paths, and tenacious trees sprouted from the middle of stone courtyards, their branches reaching for the sky through what were once family living rooms. What was once a village built by human hands became a forest of memories, each leaf and tendril a new chapter in its story. Today, Houtouwan is known around the world by a hauntingly beautiful name, China's Green Ghost Village. From the air, the view is breathtaking, almost surreal. It looks like a dreamscape painted in 1,000 shades of green. The distinct shapes of houses are softened, draped in emerald blankets of leaves. Winding paths that once led to the sea are now hidden beneath a carpet of moss and tangled roots. The air itself feels different here, thick with a cool, persistent mist that rolls in from the sea, carrying the scent of salt and damp earth. The only sounds are the chorus of birdsong and the rustle of leaves. Every doorway feels like a portal, a passage into the past. It's no wonder that photographers and adventurous travelers are drawn to this place. They come to capture its eerie, melancholic beauty, to walk the silent streets and feel the weight of its history. They call it a living painting of silence, a place where the line between ruin and art has completely disappeared. Each photograph, each visitor's quiet footstep, adds to the legend of this forgotten corner of the world. On the nearby islands, where life continues its familiar rhythm, the elders still speak of Houtouwan. Their voices are filled with a mix of nostalgia and sadness as they remember the village that was. They recall the chugging sound of the fishing boats returning at dawn, their hulls heavy with the day's catch. They remember the rich smell of salt in the air, mixed with the comforting aroma of wood smoke curling from chimneys. They remember a community, a home. Now, only the wind moves through those empty streets, a lonely guardian of abandoned homes. Yet, in its decay, Houtouwan has found a strange and powerful new life. It has become a symbol, a potent reminder that nature will always reclaim what humanity leaves behind. For some, it is a ghost story, a place of loss and sorrow. But for others, Houtouwan is something more hopeful. It's living proof that our planet has an incredible capacity to heal, to regenerate, to turn our forgotten spaces into something wild and beautiful again when it is simply left alone. With each passing year, the transformation continues. The vines grow thicker, the green mantle on the stone walls becomes more lush. In time, the jungle will completely erase the last traces of the village. The roofs will collapse, the walls will crumble, and Houtouwan will disappear back into the hill it was carved from. But for now, it remains, caught in a delicate balance, half remembered, half alive. A place where time stopped, and nature, in all its quiet power, began again. This is Houtouwan, the island that time forgot. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you were captivated by this story of a world reclaimed, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. We have so many more secrets from the forgotten corners of our world to share with you. See you next time.